Night falls on an ancient world with no fire, no walls, and nowhere truly safe. In the dark, something is already awake, already hunting. For early humans, sunset was not the end of the day. It was the beginning of the most dangerous hours. Picture a small group huddled against the cold ground. They cannot see far. Their ears strain at every snapped twig. Somewhere in the blackness, a pair of eyes is watching them. So how did our ancestors survive predators at night, again and again, for hundreds of thousands of years? The honest answer is that night was a brutal test. Humans are weak compared to big predators. We have no claws, no fangs, and poor night vision. After dark, the advantage is flipped. The hunters of the night could see, smell, and move, while we mostly could not. Darkness limited almost everything early humans did. They could not gather food safely, travel far, or watch their surroundings. A simple mistake in the dark could be the last one. Survival meant turning the long, dangerous night into something they could control. The threats were real and varied. Big cats like leopards and lions hunted by ambush. Hyenas worked in clever packs. These animals were built for the dark, with sharp senses and silent movement, and a sleeping human on open ground was an easy target. Predators often hunted near water and along trails, exactly where people needed to go. Many attacks came at dusk or before dawn, when light was weak and prey was slow. To survive, early humans had to think about danger before night even arrived. Sleep itself was the deepest weakness. An unconscious body cannot watch for danger. A lone sleeper in the open had almost no chance against a careful predator. The problem was not just fighting at night. It was surviving the hours when no one was awake to fight. The first and strongest defense was simple. They did not face the night alone. Living in groups meant more eyes, more ears, and more voices. A predator that might rush one person would hesitate against many. There was real safety in numbers. A group could face outward and watch in every direction at once. If one person sensed danger, a shout could wake everyone in an instant. Cooperation turned a pile of vulnerable sleepers into something that could react together, fast, the moment a threat appeared. Where they slept mattered as much as who they slept with. Open ground left them exposed on every side, so early humans searched for places that a predator could not easily reach or could not approach without being seen first. A cave entrance or a rocky overhang offered a wall at their backs and a narrow way in. That meant a predator could only come from one direction, where it could be watched, shouted at, and driven off, instead of striking silently from behind. But caves were not automatically safe. Predators used caves too, and a deep cave could trap a group with no escape. Often the safer choice was the edge of shelter, with cover from one side and a clear view and escape route on the other. Height was another quiet weapon. Sleeping on a ledge, a steep slope, or up among strong branches put distance between people and ground predators. A cat that hunts by sneaking close loses its advantage when its prey is resting above it. Trees and high rocks also gave a better view at dusk. From above, a group could spot movement across the landscape and choose where to settle before the light failed. Picking the right spot early was often safer than reacting in the dark. Even in a good place, someone had to stay alert. Many researchers think early human groups did not all sleep deeply at once. Lighter, broken sleep and natural differences in sleep timing meant that at almost any hour, someone was likely awake. Older members might wake before dawn while younger ones slept later. This staggering, whether by habit or by chance, acted like a rotating watch. The group was rarely completely defenseless, because rarely was every single person fully unconscious at the same time. A simple system of taking turns to stay watchful would have been a powerful survival tool. One alert person near a sleeping group is the difference between an early warning and a silent ambush. Attention itself was a kind of weapon. When a predator did come close, noise was a real defense. A sudden burst of shouting from many throats is startling and confusing. To a cautious hunter, weighing an easy meal against the risk of injury, a loud, coordinated group is simply not worth it. People also used the landscape and simple objects. Throwing rocks and sticks, waving branches, and standing tall together made a group look bigger and more dangerous. Predators survived by avoiding injury, So anything that raised the risk to them helped keep humans alive. Knowing the land was its own protection. Groups that returned to familiar places knew the safe ledges, the escape routes, and the spots where danger usually came from. This shared memory of the landscape was passed between people, an early form of survival knowledge. Their bodies helped too. Humans are endurance animals, able to keep moving and stay aware for long stretches. Good daytime vision, quick hands, and the ability to plan ahead let them prepare shelters and gather safely before darkness closed in. Above all, survival at night was a group achievement, not an individual one. Sharing watch, sharing shelter, and sharing knowledge meant the whole group carried the burden of the night together. No single person had to be strong enough to face the dark alone. Then, much later, one change reshaped the night completely. When early humans learned to control fire, darkness stopped being only a threat. A steady flame pushed back the shadows and gave them light where there had only been blindness. Fire frightened many predators and let a group see what was approaching long before it arrived. It became a warm, bright center where people could rest, watch, and stay together after sunset. The most dangerous hours slowly became more survivable. But fire was an amplifier, not the beginning. By the time people gathered around flames, they had already survived countless nights using groups, shelter, height, alertness, and noise. Fire made an old strategy stronger. It did not invent survival. We cannot film these ancient nights. So much of this is careful inference from bones, sites, predator behavior, and living primates. The exact habits varied by place and time. What stays clear is the pressure. Night was deadly, and our ancestors answered it. So how did ancient humans survive predators at night? Not with strength, but with each other. They turned weakness into strategy, using numbers, clever shelter, high ground, shared watching, and bold noise. Long before fire, the night was survived together, one careful night at a time.